What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another reaction. We're checking out Good Night by Dreamcatcher, which is the continuation of that whole Nightmare series. I did say in my Chase Me reaction that I was calling the DC girls ghosts simply because of that whole supernatural TV show vibes that I got from the music video, but obviously they are nightmares rather than ghosts. So a quick correction. You guys corrected me in the comment section, so I'm just making sure that I acknowledge it, as well as some other comments that I will talk about later in this video, because I checked out a little bit of the lyrics to this one, and there were some very interesting lyrics in this music video that kind of relate to the previous music video. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Dreamcatcher, Good Night. Let's go. Yeah, so he found that room with them, which is... Oh, that's a beautiful clock. Oh. Tell me that it doesn't sound like an anime opening. Holy shit, let's take it back. Let's take it back. A Dreamcatcher, nice. Literal Dreamcatcher. Why does this sound like... What was the Bring Me the Horizon EP? With Kingslayer and Dear Diary, like the riff sound like something out of that EP by Bring Me the Horizon, which I actually kind of talked about in one of the recent Dreamcatcher reactions, that it would be really cool to hear DC collaborate with Bring Me the Horizon, seeing as they did collaborate with Baby Metal. But let's take it back. This is take it all the way back. Sorry. I love the riff. First of all, this sounds fucking beautiful. Musically, it's wonderful. Vocally, I mean, I've talked enough about how much I love these girls. The story is very interesting. Not just the actual story as it relates to the Nightmare series, but also the lyrics, which you guys mentioned in the Chase Me reaction, how it kind of relates to the fact that these girls, I believe somebody said that Dammy's rap is about being pegged as a good girl or innocent, something that you kind of expect in K-pop, which is what they wore when they were assembled for Minx, if I'm not mistaken. That was the group, which was like a quote-unquote typical K-pop group, not to throw any shade on anyone. Obviously, I love the genre, but they were repackaged, obviously, and they introduced something completely new to K-pop. So therefore, Chase Me is not just them speaking to the detective or the investigator, but also speaking to the fans to chase them, to follow them on this journey away from what sounds by now to many people are something familiar in K-pop. Like we bring something else to the table, something that you haven't heard before, with the style, plus with the fact that they were underrated for a very long time. Some of these lyrics kind of make me feel like Dreamcatcher are almost like Freddy Krueger in a way. There are lyrics about "I'll wait quietly or patiently for you to fall asleep," as they're like these backing vocals saying like the devil is coming for you, something like that. It's almost as if like I'll wait for you to fall asleep because that's when I can fuck with you essentially. And they're constantly kind of watching over you as literally the guy is going through this what looks like a spell book or some witchcraft Doctor Strange type shit, something that is probably forbidden and was not supposed to be found. And his clothes, like in the Chase Me music video, he actually seemed, until the end, he actually seemed like it's a battle between him being kind of the good guy versus the Dreamcatcher girls who are just fucking with him and just want to terrorize him essentially. But in this music video, his clothing, the outfit, the old black, plus the ending of Chase Me, the way that he kind of smiled. And now I guess we understand why he smiled, because he found that book perhaps. We also saw that big box with the skull lock. It's almost as if now he kind of seems like the villain. We also see the Dreamcatcher girls are being almost like followed, and somebody's trying to capture them, some men in masks. Is this like an origin story of them being chased, which relates to Chase Me? So it's not like the first time that somebody tried to go after them, perhaps. I'm not really sure. But it does seem like the guy got what he wanted, and he wanted it for himself. He's looking for all of these spells, and we literally see a scene of one of the Dreamcatcher girls being consumed by the wood, by the trees and whatnot. That sounded weird. Consumed by the wood. That sounds very naughty.
Yes, baby, yes.
There's an illustration of one of the girls kind of falling, and it's essentially a spell book that also shows their history, I guess. Let's take it back. Also, I don't want a TikTok. Like, I don't want to wait anymore. That's why I won't make this night pass. Like, I want to get you. I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna get you. What? Fuck. Anyway. Ooh. And the endlessly repeating nightmare also kind of stay trapped like this forever, like my very own doll. Like they're essentially not just talking about the audience being captivated by this incredible group that did something different. So first we were chasing them. Now it's good night. Like we're going to be trapped in their nightmare. Like their nightmare represents their world essentially. That's one interpretation. Obviously, a second interpretation is the fact that you can't escape no matter how hard you try. Them constantly being on the lookout as those men are trying to capture them, and also this guy is now in possession of this book. This visual clearly shows, her falling down. The Chase Me music video showed them doing some wizardry, like voodoo, some witchcraft type shit, maybe some things that they were not supposed to do. So it's a never ending cycle, and you can interpret that however which way you would like. And also, I'm so mesmerized by the actual music that I'm forgetting the names of the girls. And I love the choreography of running. Oh, Yu-Yang. Oh. Yes. Like, oh, Sua. I love her the deep voice that Sua provides here, as literally he looks through this spell book and then we see all of these hands that turn, that trees that are hands, and just fucking some creepy shit is happening. Drenched in sweat. Yes. Wait, was that their plan all along, for him to get this book so they can fucking end him or something? Could that be like a mind game played with them? Them playing a mind game with him, rather, without even moving a finger. Oh, I'm making you drenched in sweat. Like, literally kind of portraying a Freddy Krueger-ish aspect, as far as the second you fall asleep, I'm just going to destroy you and you're going to be drenched in sweat because you're going to be in so much fear you will not be able to wake up. Their outfits are awesome as well. This song is so good, I'm not noticing a lot of visual stuff. I love the riff. And also Sua is trapped. Like visually representing the spells. Oh, so it was those guys were also trapped. Is that like an origin story? Like, that's kind of what I'm thinking. And it's like history repeats itself because it's a never-ending nightmare, essentially. The result is always going to be the same. So stop testing me because, bitch, you can't win. Did they trap him by getting him to get to that hotel and chase me? It seemed like the girls were trapped, but they switched it up. Oh. Oh, that's beautiful. Welcome to my dream world. It's almost like they're talking to him, but they're also talking to us. Welcome to something that you've never heard before in K-pop, to the point where you're not going to believe that this is actually K-pop with all of these elements that we are throwing at you. So this is a really cool double meaning, and I'm only thinking about this because you guys mentioned like the metamorphosis from Minx to being Dreamcatcher, and how these lyrics in Chase Me correlate to them being like even Dami in that first song. You guys made a point how Dami's rap is kind of talking about how they were pegged as the good girl, like the expectations of idols in K-pop, and they were pretty much different from anything that you have ever seen the second they were kind of quote unquote repackaged as Dreamcatcher. And her burning the page as Sua is also burning, like the trees around her that were capturing her are burning. This is quite beautiful. Oh. I also love how they're saying welcome to my dream world as they are literally destroying his world at the same time. Like, your world became ours because you decided to fuck with us, maybe. Yes, and he's trapped now. Like, it was an illusion all along that he thought he got a win over them. So the second he entered that hotel room, he was done. Oh, that was interesting. Somebody dropped it on purpose. Who did that? With the amount of times that Yuyan kind of played the bad guy, I'm assuming it was her who dropped the fucking book. I'm not sure. This was absolutely awesome. I love instrumentally. I This song was so good and threw me off so badly that I didn't even get the chance to talk about how amazing they look, how cool the dancing choreography was with the slow motion running. So this was an absolutely awesome music video. I enjoyed this so freaking much. I love the riff. I'm sure you guys will provide me with the actual meaning of the song. I'm kind of cool with the one or two or even three meanings that I got from this music video. And I just love the fact that the second they say, "Welcome to my dream world," they kind of, in a way, trap us, the audience, in their reality. That is the dream world. Like, we are so invested after chasing them in that first music video, their debut, and now we're just in that nightmare that is the dream world, essentially. And obviously, the actual meaning, or the second meaning, is the guy literally being trapped in that dream world where he thought he had the upper hand by having the book, but in the end, the book was taken away from him. Everything was kind of destroyed, and he was locked behind that mirror. It was awesome. It was so cool and intricate, and the way that the DC girls were being chased by those masked guys, and then they essentially became kind of the prey. Like, it's almost like this vicious cycle of people continuing to test them, because literally it is being said in the lyrics, "Stop testing me," but people keep on testing them because they don't know any better. Each and every new challenger or villain that comes into the story thinks that he can do something that the other villain couldn't, and that is destroy the DC girls, or do something to hurt them. And in the end, it's just like this never-ending nightmare, because it constantly just continues to repeat itself, and they are constantly uh, getting another win in that column to kind of put a boxing MMA kind of spin on it. Like, they cannot lose. Everybody's just a step behind them, or two, three, four, five steps behind them. This was an absolutely awesome music video. Let me know your thoughts and theories in the comments down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction, and I'll catch you all in the next one. See ya.